Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live broadcast. Good to have you here again. Please, as you are joining this live section, it would be lovely for you to like and share this live broadcast. It will be lovely for you to like and share this live broadcast so other people can be able to join us and partake in this wonderful blessing we're about to share tonight. So, I'm trying to share mine. I don't know. As you are joining, please like and share this live broadcast before we begin. Let's just give some time for others to join. Welcome once again to this live broadcast. Who is in the building? I want to hear from you before we start. Who is in the building? Just give me 2 minutes. Let me just round it up here. Good to have you here as you are joining. All right. Okay, so I think we are set now. So, how have you all been doing? Seems like I need to adjust my mic. So let's begin without much time. We have a lot to cover today. We're gonna talk about interesting things, they lied to you. And anyway, Please, as you are joining, please like and share this live broadcast, because in that way, YouTube will be able to share this live to others, and others will also join. So as you are liking, please share. Share to those you need them to hear this wonderful message we are about to share now. So let's begin. Have you ever looked at someone you love and thought, I want to trust you again, but I don't know how? Maybe they lied once. Maybe they lied many times. Maybe they lied about money, communication, cheating. Cheating in their past, where they were maybe who they were talking to, or something they promised they would never do again. And now you are stuck between two painful places. One part of this place is, one part of you want to forgive. Another part of you says, but what if I trust them and they hurt me again? I like to talk about the real things we experience in our daily lives. So tonight, we are talking about rebuilding trust after lies. I'm going to share with you the practical steps that must happen and the boundaries you need so that forgiveness does not become foolishness. Because, let me say this, I want to let you know this clearly. Trust can be rebuilt, but it cannot be rushed. It needs to take time. Forgiveness can be given, but access must be earned. Love may open the door, but changed behavior keeps the door open continuously. So before we go deeper, I want you to type down in the chat, trust can be rebuilt, but not rushed. Please, if you are watching me here live, I want you to type in the chat, trust can be rebuilt, but not rushed. And if you are watching the replay, I want you to take part of this as well. I don't want you to, be kept aside. No, I want you to take part of this. Comment in the comments. I am healing with wisdom. Yes, I am healing with wisdom. So stay with me until the end, because I'm going to share the exact steps to rebuild trust. What the person who lied must do. What the hurt person must do. And the boundaries that protect healing. So, once again, welcome back to this wonderful channel called Build the Marriage. Build the Marriage with Maryannnnaji, where we talk about love, marriage, relationships, emotional healing, and building strong, purpose-driven relationships God's way. That's our goal. So let me know where you are watching me from. I want to know where you are watching me from. Also tell me in one word Yes. In one word, are you watching because of marriage, dating, healing, or boundaries? I want you to type in the chat or in the comments wherever you are watching me from. Marriage, just single word. Is either you write marriage, dating, healing, or boundaries. So just choose any one any reason why you are watching this live stream tonight. I always love seeing this beautiful community from around the world. So tonight's topic is sensitive. You heard it too. So I want you to listen with an open mind and with wisdom as well, because one of you, or you watching me, you're hearing rebuilding trust and you think it means pretending nothing is happening. Like, no, that's not it. When we talk about rebuilding trust, it's not we pretend nothing is happening. No, it's a big lie. Rebuilding trust does not mean you ignoring the lies. It does not mean silencing your pain. It does not mean giving someone unlimited chances while they keep breaking your heart. No. Rebuilding trust means there is trust, accountability. There is truth, accountability, repentance, consistency, emotional safety, and healthy boundaries. Yes, that's what it means. So before we go deeper, I want you to type this in the chat. Trust can be rebuilt but not rushed. So if you have not done so, I'm giving you the second opportunity to be able to write this, because as you are writing down this, it's getting right inside you and you are taking note. So, because tonight we are not talking about pretending. Nothing happened. No. That's not what we are doing here. We are not talking about that. We are talking about healing with truth. You have to know, just like the Bible says, you have to know the truth and the truth shall set you free. A lot of you do not want to hear the truth, and that's why you are not healing. And that's why you are not evolving. So what you need in life is truth. We are healing with truth, wisdom, boundaries, and accountability. So that's it. So before we start, I always tell you, I do my live stream in part, in section. I like to break it in the way you will understand them perfectly. And the first thing we're going to talk about, the first part of this live section, we're going to talk about is why lies damage trust so deeply. Even if it is a small lie, it can damage trust. So let's start from here. Yes, why lie damage trust so deeply? Now, a lie not only hides information, a lie breaks emotional safety. If someone is safe with you and you lied just a small, it makes the person start questioning, are you sure I'm safe here? So when someone lies to you, the pain is not just, about what they said. That is not the pain. It is about what the lie makes you question. Like I just told you now, am I safe? Is this the first one? So you start questioning a lot of things. Now let me ask you honestly. I'm asking this honestly, and I want an honest answer. What hurts more after a lie? Is it the lie itself, or the fact that you now question everything? I want you to type in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay, the lie, or you type questioning everything. So if it is the lie that hurts you the most, you write lie. If it is the questioning everything, you write questioning everything. You start asking yourself, was anything real? Because there are lies people tell you. You feel like, are you sure this is the only lie I'm hearing here? Based on, I need to hear, because it seems like there is more. That is what it is. It will make you start questioning things like this. And you start asking, what else don't I know? You know, can I believe them now? Like, if someone lied before, you're like questioning, can you now believe them again? Yes. These are the questions that will be lingering in you. And you will ask yourself again, were they manipulating you? Like, you know, putting you in a kind of the way they like, the way they want. So you will also question, did they only tell the truth because they got caught? That's the most one some of you do ask. Yes, because in reality, some the truth is this. Some got caught and they're like, I have to say the truth now. They have known the truth. They have known what, so now let's open up, because they are caught. So you question yourself, did they only tell the truth because they got caught? You also question yourself, if I forgive them, will they think they got away with it? Yes, a lot of you, that's why a lot of you still hold on and not forgive. That is why lies can feel so heavy. So heavy. You know why? Because truth is not built on love alone. A lot of you fool yourself. I call it fool because you deceive yourself. Let me use the word deceive, not fool. It's part of it, but let me use the word deceive because that will penetrate more. A lot of you deceive yourself thinking that trust can only be built on love alone. No. Trust is built on truth, reliability, consistency. You see, the way I'm listing it, first of all, truth. You have to be reliable. If you say this, you must do it so that next time they will trust you. You have to also be consistent on them. If you say, I'm going to do this, make sure you do it. If you say, okay, let's do that, you make sure you do that. Make sure it's consistent. Not you say truth today, you lie tomorrow. You say truth today, you lie tomorrow. That is not consistency. And trust cannot be built in such a situation. And another thing trust is built on is emotional security. Before anyone can trust you, they must make sure that their emotions are secured, that you won't blast their emotion, like bomb it. A lot of you are emotion bombers. Why do I say so? Because when someone gives you their whole and trust you, try to rely on you, all you do is you blast them with things that breaks their emotion, makes them feel so sad that they start regretting start questioning how did they met you? What transpired? Why is this going on? So the truth is this: trust cannot be built on love alone. Don't deceive yourself. If you are deceiving a woman or a man out there, telling them because you love them, love is not enough. This truth, reliability, consistency, and emotional safety, these are crucial tools, elements, things that trust is built on. And you must be consistent. You must do them before anyone can truly trust you. So, you can love someone and still not trust them. A lot of people are like that. They love people, but they don't trust them enough. They don't trust them. Yes. So, someone can love you and still not trust you. Is 100%. Someone can love you. So if you want to earn their trust, you're going to walk through it. You're going to do the necessary things you need to do. You can forgive someone and still need boundaries. And when I say boundaries, I really mean serious boundaries. Set boundaries that in life, I don't know if some of you do think that love, you can just love someone, forgive someone, and just continue. No, that's not how it is. That's not correct. The right way is set boundaries. If they step over the boundaries, if they keep to it, how they are, the effort they are making, because boundaries is what will show you what effort these people are making. So your spouse or your partner is making. You can want the relationship to work and still require proof of change. Most of the time, like I'm here, I'm telling you the real things that are happening in relationship, in marriages. A lot of you make this mistake thinking, because I love you, you love me, we do things the way we want. No, there should be things put in place. So when you work on your relationship, you require, not just need, you require proof of change. That is what will prove to you that, this person has really changed. They are no longer the same person they were before. Because that's the only proof you have. You have nothing else. That's the proof you have. And that is not bitterness. A lot of you do think that when you set boundaries, you put things in place, they start saying you have not forgiven. It's a lie. That's manipulation. Boundaries doesn't mean you don't forgive. You can forgive and still set your boundaries. This is for your peace of mind. This is for your own security. That is wisdom. So you just have to bear this in mind. And if you agree that needing boundaries is not bitterness, because for me that's the way I see it. But if you think the same way I'm thinking, that you need boundaries is not bitterness, please, I want you to type in the chat, that is wisdom. So I know you are taking part in this live section. And if you're watching the replay, this also applies to you. If you believe that you need boundary, needing boundary is not bitterness, please type in the chat or in the comments wherever you are watching. That is wisdom. And with that being said, at least we started from why it hurts that bad, because that's the truth. We need to start from the truth. And the second part of this live section is the difference between forgiveness and trust. This is very significant, you know. Forgiveness and trust are not the same thing. Forgiveness is a decision to release the debt, like the debt from your heart, so bitterness does not destroy you. That's forgiveness. But trust is confidence built through repeated truthful behavior over time. So if someone is truthfully, behaving the correct way they're supposed to behave, with that trust can be built, and without you even doing anything, naturally you start trusting them because you are seeing it. They are showing it. So the truthful behavior is showing over time. It's not like it's once and again in the next 10 months. No, it's consistent. Forgiveness can happen in a moment. Trust takes time. So forgiveness is given. You can give forgiveness, but trust, you don't give trust. You earn it. Trust is earned. So it's like, okay, I worked for 5 hours. You pay me for 5 hours. That is exact. And listen, you get paid after you work. That is exactly how it is. Trust is things are going on. They are watching. They are observing. They are seeing if it is working. And at the end, they say, okay, I think I can now make my decision. Now I can now trust them because they have earned it. You can give yourself time. You can give yourself, let's say, a year, 6 months, 2 months, 2 weeks. It depends on what you want to trust on. So everything, trust is earned. Forgiveness is given. You don't give out trust. They must earn it. Forgiveness is between you, God, and your heart. While trust is between you and the person's pattern of behavior, not the person's pattern of behavior. Because don't get it twisted. Now, the trust, like I said, is the pattern of behavior, not the person. The person's pattern of behavior. So if their pattern of behavior is not well, it doesn't sync well, you won't trust them. But to you feel like, oh, I think I'm good with this. This is good to go. You are free to trust. So, never let anyone pressure you by saying, because I do see this a lot. If you forgave me, you will trust me again. No, that is not true. That is a lie from the pit of hell. You can forgive someone and still say, I need transparency. I need time. I need accountability. I need to see consistency. I need boundaries before I feel safe again. That is not unforgiveness. That is rebuilding properly, because when A house has been damaged. Let's use this as an example. A house has been damaged. You do not just paint the walls and pretend the foundation is okay. No. You go to the foundation. You check the foundation. You repair what is broken. Whatsoever is broken in the house, you repair it. You rebuild with stronger materials in order for that house to stand again. That is how trust works too. You just have to know this is what it is. This is for the person. Now, let me talk to the person who has been pressured to trust too soon, because I know a lot of you has been pressured to trust too soon. And excuse me, I want you to, in the comments, type in the chat or in the comments if you have been pressured to trust someone too soon. I want you to type in the chat or in the comments this. If you receive, I want you to type if you receive this. So, forgiveness is given, but trust is earned. If you have been the one that has been pressured, please write it. Forgiveness is given, but trust is earned. You know why? It's crucial, because when you do, the reason is this, because I know you will want to know why. Why is because forgiving someone does not mean you must immediately give them the same access they had before they broke your trust. So, with that being said, I think we have said enough here. Now, let's move on to the next thing we have in this live section. The next part of this live section is, can trust really be rebuilt after lies? A lot of you have been asking this question, and I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to share with you honest thing you need to hear. You know, sometimes a lot of you like to be lied to. I say the way it is, raw. Now, someone may be asking, Maryann, can trust really be rebuilt after lies? I know a lot of you, somehow you feel like, I don't think I can trust. Yes, it can be rebuilt after lies. But there is a but on it. There is a but on it. But only if both people are willing to do the work. And this is where everything shatters, because most of you are not really willing. The one who broke the trust may be willing, but the one who has been hurt might not be willing. So, vice versa, it can be the other way around as well. So, trust cannot be rebuilt if one person wants healing and the other person wants escape. You know, in relationship, there are some relationship where you see some people, some like to enjoy, to have, you know, the good parts. The work part, they give it to the other person. They don't want to go through the work part. Let the other person do it. No. When it comes to trust, both must work towards it for it to work. Trust cannot be rebuilt if the person who lied keeps saying, why are you still talking about this? You know, when they lied and you are addressing it, they keep saying these words. Why are you still talking about it? Like they are not supposed to talk about it. Why? Why? That's the thing. Why are they not supposed to talk about it? Are they not human? A lot of you just behave like you're animals. You don't behave like human. You are hurting your fellow human. You lied to somebody. I like to twist it. I will share with you. I like to twist it. The way it goes is, if someone lied to you, what do? Don't just worry your head. Twist it the other way around. Let it be on their part now. The truth is because they ask this, why are you still talking about this? You know why? They ask it because it's not them that was hurt. Now flip it to them and ask them questions based on it. Not immediately, but on another day. You will see they cannot give you how they feel, because they will not want to tell you how they will feel. It means they are not working on truth. When you have a spouse or a partner who is like this, they are not working on truth. They have to first of all tell themselves the truth. Because if you do not tell yourself the truth, how can you tell your partner the truth? It's not possible. You cannot give what you do not have. So in life, you have to learn to give. Put yourself in people's shoes. That's how I always do it. I ask you, can't you put yourself in another person's shoe? So you feel the pain. You know how it feels. Because if you do not, you can never know how it feels. Another thing they keep saying is, you are too sensitive. When you raise the matter, they say you are too sensitive because you are raising the matter. But if it is them, they make sure they talk about it. They make sure they go to the root. But when it is your turn, your own, they say you are too sensitive. Another thing also they say is, you should be over it by now. Hi. Anybody who say any of these things I'm just listening to you cannot build, that trust cannot be built because they are not ready for it. How can someone tell someone you should be over it by now? Like seriously. Like if it was them, they will be over it by now. So, another thing they also say is, I already said sorry. Have you ever heard this? I don't know if any of you are hearing these things. I'm just listening. Because I'm just listing them to you so you can be able to pick and know if it's happening in your relationship, because it does. I already said sorry. Is that enough? No. Another one they say is, you are making me feel bad. And another thing also, they also say is, you are the problem because you don't trust me. You see, they have now flipped it back to you to make you feel you are the problem. No. The person who broke trust does not get to control the healing timeline. The healing process, he or she has no atom. I put it this way, no atom of right to control the healing process. If someone breaks your trust, do not give them time to control that healing process. The healing process is yours. Take your time to heal completely, however you want it. You know why? A lot of times you don't give yourself that time you need to heal. And a lot of time, another worst part of it is you let people give you opinions of how to heal. And that is where they manipulate you. Now, if you broke the trust, if you are the one who broke the trust, you must be willing to help rebuild it. How? You may ask. Okay, I will come to that anyway. But let's if you were hurt, I want you to know this. You must also be willing to heal without using the past as a weapon forever. Because this is another thing I noticed, that if you use it as a weapon forever, you will never heal. That's the truth. You will never heal from any situation. You will keep giving yourself more trauma day by day, heart attack day by day. So you have to not use the past as a weapon. So rebuilding trust requires two things, just two things. One, the person who lied must become safe. However they are, I don't know. The person who was hurt must be willing to heal. So, there is difference between I was hurt, but there are people true who are not willing to heal. They just want to, garnish everything, but they don't want to hear. These things I mentioned to you, these two both things matter. The one who was hurt must be willing to heal. Now, do you believe, let me ask you this, do you believe trust can be rebuilt when both people are willing to do the work? Do you really believe so? And if you do, I want you to type in the chat or in the comments. I want you to type in the chat or in the comments, if you're watching the replay, yes. If you think the answer is yes, fine. If you think the answer is no, you write no. If you think the answer is only with change, only when you see change, fine. You can type them in the chat or in the comments. So, with that being said, let's move on to the next thing we have in this live section. And that's the fourth part of this live section, is the steps to rebuilding trust after lies. Now, you have to really pay attention. This is the key point here. These steps, I'm going to give you 8 steps to rebuilding trust. First step, like I said, if you have hurt someone in the past and you want to help them heal, quite all right, and you love them, you still want to be with them, and you think they have not fully healed, you can still take note of these 8 steps and take part of it. And if you are the one who has been lied to and it has been hurting you, it depends how long, I don't know, you also need to take this step by step so you can be able to heal fully and rebuild that trust. So the first part we're going to talk about in this live section is full honesty must replace partial truth. Sometimes most of you do say the truth, but not the whole truth. I'm sorry, not the whole truth. Now, partial truth is not a full truth, it's partial. You have to be fully, honestly willing to replace that partial truth with full truth. It must be given. The first step is this: not half truth. If you want to rebuild trust in any relationship, in your marriage, in whatsoever, you have to give full truth, not half truth. And let it not be forced. Another thing is, a lot of you wait for them to force this truth out of you before you say them. No one can trust you if they force things out of you. If you are a spouse or a partner, and your partner always seems like they force words out of you where they are supposed to, be free, and you are supposed to be free to say things, but you are not. And it seems like they are getting the thing off from your mouth. They cannot trust. There is no trust, because no one can trust such a person who keeps hiding things that even it doesn't make sense to hide. Even things that doesn't supposed to be hide, they keep it to themselves. No one can trust you. So if you're gonna say the truth, you're gonna say the whole truth. And it must not be forced. Do not let them force the truth. Just be willing to say them. Feel free. Unless you yourself, you are not free, because that's the only situation I know that can happen, that makes people to keep things to themselves and not share it with someone, because they don't even trust themselves. So how can they trust you? They themselves do not trust themselves. And that's why it's difficult for them to give you the truth they're supposed to, like, open freely without you asking for it, without you requesting for it. So this is exactly what it is. Again, is not I will only admit what you already know. A lot of you are very trickish. A lot of you are very corny. Very, very trickish in nature. And that is harming your relationship. You can never enjoy a full relationship if you're tricky. If you're saying, because the person knows this part, so you give them this part. Because they already know this area, you give it to them. You admit of this because they know. Your marriage, your relationship will never, you won't enjoy it if you are living such a life. So you have to, like I'm saying it, I'm just giving it the way it is. I'm not painting anything. I'm not trying to put it in the words you will like to hear. I don't care about that. You know why? Because what does it cost me to hide the truth from you? Because you want to cover some things up and tomorrow. No. So not only admitting what you already know. No, we don't need that. You don't need that in your relationship. If you love your spouse, you love your partner, you gonna tell everything, the one they know and the one they don't know. Yes, there is a reason. Because if you give them halfway and they get to find out later on, it's another big deal. And you cannot deny it. There's nothing like I forgot. I didn't remember. I wasn't thinking about it. Another thing again is, if you want to give full honesty, truth, you won't say I want to put it in a way you will understand this. A lot of you will say, I will confess only after you show me evidence. It's sad. I don't like hearing these things. It itches my ears. On our soul in anya, it do me somehow. I know they like to hear them. A lot of you always do these things and think you are manipulating your partner or your spouse. If you want to heal and you want to rebuild trust in your relationship, this truth, you must not say, I will confess only after you show me evidence. So if they don't show you evidence, you will not confess. Hi. Sometimes I'm just, I don't know. I wonder how the kind of world it is. Okay. My point is, in this life section, you're going to follow this rule. You're going to make sure you're not going to do all these things I listed. Full honesty, full chest, no halfway, no half truth. You know why? There is reason. Because partial truth keeps the wound open. You know, when you have a wound and when it's healing, the surface will be, it will no longer be fresh, But when you keep, giving partial truth, the wound will every time will look fresh. Yes, it will look fresh because every time we'll be revisiting. We'll talk about this because one thing led to another. You lied today, tomorrow you might say something else, and next tomorrow, and it will keep lingering. Many relationships do not heal. You know why? Because the person who lied is still managing the truth. They are not being honest. You are not being honest to yourself. You are controlling the amount of information you reveal to reduce consequences. Yeah, a lot of you do that because if you, for instance, if you tell your spouse, I cheated on you so time when you went to so place, they will feel bad and they'll tell you, okay, despite this and that, and they will give you consequences that you will not want to take. So what you do is you pretend and you will not want to reveal that information fully. I want to tell you where the problem is. Here is the problem. You cannot rebuild trust with controlled truth. You know that moment you are trying to give a certain truth, not all truth. You cannot. I just told you earlier, you cannot rebuild trust if you are living such a life at all. You know why? Because the person close to you is not an animal. They are humans. They may look weak. They may feel like you may think you are fooling them. They are human beings. There is spirit in them. One day their spirit will arise. And that's why you see a lot of couples stab, kill their partner, do a lot of things to hurt their partner because of what has transpired in the past. A lot of people go to the level of revenging back. Like, I will give it to you more than the way you give it to me. And they will hurt you so bad. I don't know how you live life this way. Somebody needs to hear this. A partial truth keeps the wound open. I told you initially. If that speaks to you, I want you to type full honesty down in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. Yes. If someone has lied, they must be willing to answer questions. Honestly, this is another one. They need to answer questions honestly, clearly, and humbly. But the truth, the reality is the opposite. They don't answer questions. When you ask them questions, they say they don't know. Stop asking me that question. I don't want to hear. I don't want to know. They are not clear. And even if they are giving you any information, they are not giving you clear information so you'll be able to understand. Because they know if you understand, you ask questions upon questions that will lead. Because smart people do not just listen. They pick points and they try to connect the dots. That's how I do. I'm sorry, but I have to. I connect the dots. Like a puzzle. One of the beautiful games I love to play is puzzle. Bring everything together, start fixing by yourself. Fix it, it will give you what you. Life is like a puzzle. And when you have spouses or partner who does this, they need to hear this. You have to share this video to them. They need to hear this truth. The person who hurts must be willing to answer questions. They cannot run away from that question, because if they don't answer the question honestly, clearly, and humbly, they are not ready to build that trust. They are not ready to build that trust. That does not mean the hurt person should ask questions in a way that destroys their own peace, because sometimes, honestly speaking, there are questions you might ask, it will even hurt you more. So if you know what you can handle, I always do this. I always go by, give me, like, if I know I cannot handle this, I don't go there. If I know a question I will ask or something I will say that will lead to something I will not want to see or hear, I will not go there, because my peace is most crucial thing. Some details may not be healthy or helpful to keep replaying them. That's why you need not to ask some of those ones. But once you need information on how to work on it, good and fine. But the main truth must come out. Is a must, because if the whole truth is not coming, then what are you doing? You're just wasting time. You can ask questions like, if you want to rebuild trust, you can ask questions like, okay, what happened? The truth is, some of them who hurt doesn't even have the time to come and be explaining what happened. Yes. You can ask what happened, when did it happen, why did you lie? A lot of you have chances to tell truth, but you never. Why? That brought me to, because sometimes I do see things happen. You have a lot of chances. Most of the time, the universe gives you opportunity to present your matter. But you don't present them. You still pretend that things is okay. You still not go ahead and say something, I want to tell the truth here. There's something happened here. I remembered now. No. You still lie. Lie upon lie upon lie upon lie doesn't rebuild any truth. What are you doing? You can also ask them this question. What are you doing to make sure it does not happen again? Hey, some don't want to hear this. Yes. What are you doing to make sure that what happened now will not happen again? Ask them that question. Is crucial for you to know if you are in the right place and if something you can handle. You can also ask them, what access, support, or accountability are you willing to accept? Because the truth is, these people are too, if they are lying several times, behaving, doing the things they are doing, they are not even willing to change. Some of them claim they want to change, but when you start asking them these questions, you will see they are not willing to change, because they don't want you to ask them these questions, and they will not answer them. They won't, because they are not willing to change. They're only pretending they want to change. And they keep using it to deceive you, to keep you in your place. But they are not willing to change. The truth is painful. But a hidden truth is poisonous. I don't know, you can quote it anywhere. A hidden truth is poisonous. it is better to deal with the truth than the hidden one. I don't know. This is how I see it. This is how I see it. A relationship can survive painful truth. Yes. Better than it can survive continued deception. So, with that being said, that takes me to the next step. You know, I told you I have 8 steps for you in order for you to rebuild that trust. And the second step here is the apology must include accountability. So many times, when it comes to apologies, anyway, the second, this particular second one is real accountability. And I don't know, there are people who are accountable. There are a lot of people who are accountable. There are people who are not. Let's be honest tonight. There are people who are not accountable. They are not accountable to themselves. So how can they be accountable to you? I don't know. A real apology is not just "I'm sorry." A lot of you do this all the time. I said, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." No. A real apology includes accountability. Humility. Humility is when you know you are wrong, you humble yourself. But no, the booger, the pride. And also, not just humility, accountability, humility, and a changed behavior. So their behavior must change for a real apology to take place. These 3 things. You know why? Because when truth has been broken, promises must become patterns. This is real. A real apology sounds like this. Let me just give you what real apologies sounds like. I lied to you. I understand that I damaged your trust. I understand why you feel hurt and unsafe. You will still hear, "I will not blame you for my choices." This is so sweet. I love this one. You know why? Some people flip it. They blame you for their choices. So, and real apology is also, it sounds like this: I am willing to do what is necessary to rebuild trust. This is accountability in action. It also sounds like this: I know my words are not enough. I will show you through my actions. If you believe an apology must come with changed behavior, like I believe so, because that's how I say it, I want you to type in the chat or in the comments wherever you are watching me if you believed that an apology comes with changed behavior. I want you to type in the chat or in the comment, "Words are not enough." A lot of you speak words. We don't need words, we need action. Action. That's all we need. To rebuild trust, we need action, not words. So if you believe what I just said now, type in the chat, "Words are not enough," or in the comments wherever you are watching me from. That is accountability. Yes. But an apology that says this: "I am sorry you feel that way." When you have such apology, That is not accountability. Oh. Now, this apology that said, I'm sorry you feel that way, or I lied because you would have reacted badly. I didn't tell you because I didn't want drama. Jeez. You made me feel like I had to lie. That is not accountability. If you have heard these 3-4 things I just mentioned, it is not an accountability. No. That is blame. They are indirectly blaming you. That is blame wearing the clothes of an apology. I'm sorry you feel that way. Honestly, this is not funny at all. It's not funny at all, because sometimes I wonder how people feel, how people behave, how arrogant, and they say these things not feeling like this person they are talking to is a human being like them. A human being like them. I'm sorry you feel that way. I lied because you would have reacted badly. What is that? Anyways, listen carefully. I just want you to know this. A person who is truly sorry does not just regret being caught. They regret causing damage because they know they have damaged something in you. A truly repentant person does not demand instant trust. You know that time when people hurt you and instantly they want you to trust them? They are not repented. They have not repented. They are manipulating you. They are manipulating. They are not truly repented. Because trust me, tomorrow they will repeat that same thing. A repentant person doesn't go back to his vomit. No. So, they accept the responsibility of rebuilding what they broke. That is what it is. Those who are fully repented. And this is where you must pay attention. Yes. Do not only listen to the apology. This is crucial if you want to rebuild trust the right way. Do not just listen to the apologies, because they can say words, they can say things. It's easy for them to say things, to say, I love you, I cherish you, I will do this, I will do that. It's not in the saying, it is in the doing. Watch the attitude after the apology. Just say a little thing and you see again, they will get mad, which means they are not repented. They have not repented. What if they are humble? What if they are defensive? Hey, that one is more dangerous. The defensive ones, they are so dangerous to be around with. What if they are transparent? If they are transparent, good. What if they are impatient? Don't even go there. What if they are willing to change? Yes. What if they are annoyed that you are still healing? Maybe you are still, if it's not possible when someone hurts someone and the person feels bad, they expect this person to start. No. That's robot. That's robot toy, not human being. Because a human being feels something inside and they must show it. It's natural. It's natural. It's not something you can hide. So it's not, unless the person likes to pretend, that's where they will act those things. So These are the things you need to watch if after the apology. The apology opens the door. Yes. The apology opens the door. Accountabilities is what proves whether they are ready to walk through it. For instance, you see your partner after apologizing and they are not humble, they are defensive, they are not even transparent. That is what shows you if are you sure I'm gonna walk this again? Are you sure I'm gonna go through it again? No. So with that, you know where you stand. You know what you need to put in place. You know what to do, or if you can handle it. So with that being said, that takes us to the third step I have for you. And the third step is there must be consistent behavior over time. Trust is rebuilt through consistency, not one good day today, tomorrow bad day. Good day today, tomorrow bad day. No. Not one emotional conversation today, tomorrow you have worst conversation ever. Not one tearful apology. Hi, that one they will share, they will cry, they will tell you. Some people are so dramatic in nature. Honestly. Some people are so dramatic in nature that if you keep watching their drama, you won't even know what to believe. So don't look for just those one-time thing. No, make sure it's consistent. Not one promise. Consistency. If someone say, I promise I'm gonna do this, watch them and see if they do it. Don't overlook it. Don't ignore it. Watch them and see if they do it. Yes. Because if you don't watch them, you will not know if they do it. And if they do not do it, it will become a pattern. Just like the video I made last week. Is it a season or a pattern? If you have been following me and watching, you will know, you will understand what I'm saying. I streamed last week and it is about season or pattern. A lot of you are in pattern thinking it's a season. No, a season must end and another must begin, but pattern continues. So you must watch out for this thing. Consistency is the key. Now, I want you to type in the chat or in the comments wherever you are watching me, if you're watching the replay or if you're watching me live. Consistency rebuilds trust. Consistency rebuilds trust. You know why? Because trust isn't rebuilt in one emotional conversation. No. Maybe, let's say somebody was crying deeply that they have hurt you, they are sorry, they have done that, and after that you cannot just rebuild trust on just that one emotional conversation. No. Tomorrow they can change, they will do any other thing. So you see, you'll be breaking your heart more. It is rebuilt by repeated truthful behavior over time. So the person who lied must now tell the truth. That is it. That means their words and actions must start matching, because a lot of your words and your action doesn't match. You say one thing, you do another. So if you want to rebuild trust, you must make sure you know what you are saying, and you must make sure that what you are saying is rhyming with what you are doing. That's the easiest way you can build trust. If they say they are going to, they are going somewhere, they go there. So it means When you say, I'm going to Mr. A's house, you go to Mr. A's house, not Mr. B. Because a lot of you do this a lot. They will say they are going to Mr. A house. Listen, they will say they are going to Mr. A house, and they go to Mr. B. And when you ask, yes, I thought I, and they start framing all this rubbish because it's lie. So if you want to rebuild trust, you're going to be truthful. You're going to be transparent. The whole truth, honestly. So if you say you will call. If you say you will be transparent, be transparent. If you say you are done with something, your behavior should confirm it. Yes. And if you say you want the relationship, then act like someone by protecting it. Because if you want something that bad, you're going to protect it. Yes. If you have... by the way, why is it that when you go to the shop where they sell goods, let's say clothing, shoes, wares, you see them open place, you can get them and take a look, right? But why is it that when you go to a place where they sell gold, real gold, you see them locked up, but they will make it transparent where you can see it from the glass, but you cannot really touch it unless you call someone to come, because that is so precious. So if your relationship is so precious to you, you're gonna work on it to protect it. That's your responsibility. That is your duty, to protect your relationship. You know why? Because trust is built when the hurt person no longer has to keep guessing. I mean, when the hurt person, the person you've hurt, trust is built when they no longer need to be guessing. Oh, is it, did they go here, or did they, I don't know how to guess those guess. It's good though. It's good to guess sometimes, but no, it's not good in a relationship. Yes, consistency tells the nervous system, I am safe now. This person is showing up differently. Yeah, because you have a brain, you have blood and water flowing. Something is flowing in your brain into the system. This is a computer God put in us, and whatsoever is stored here, like, it keeps, the system will keep telling you, okay, this is what it is. So consistency tells you the pattern is changing. When you see the consistency, your nervous system will tell you, okay, now the pattern is changing, because it is. I do not have to live in constant suspicion. Yeah. But inconsistency keeps the wound alive, open at all times. That's what I'm telling you. One day they are loving, the next day they are heavy. The next day they are secretive. They want to stay on their own. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to talk to you. They are like something is hurting them. The next day they are they are happy. They're only happy in some circumstances. But you need to know those. One day they are patient. The next day they are angry. You are asking. One day they answer questions simple. The next day they say, here we go again. They will not want to answer any question you ask. That will not rebuild trust. Yes. You cannot heal someone from the pain of dishonesty while still behaving suspiciously. Other possible. It's not. So with that being said, that takes me to the Next step we have, I promise I'm going to give you 8. And the next step is the 4th step you must take. Transparency must become normal, not punishment. Yes, for a lot of you who do not, I know that when people don't really live this honest life, this transparent life, when they start doing it, it feels weird. Did I even use the correct word? Yes, it feels weird for them. And they feel somehow. They feel like it's not normal because they are not used to it. Now, let's talk about transparency. After lies, transparency is not control. No. Transparency is repair. When you want to repair let's say you can't repair a bulb, but let's just give an instance. For instance, a phone or whatsoever you want to repair. There are some tools, or should I call it elements, in those things. For instance, you have a phone, you make a call, you can hear them, but they cannot hear you. So, what part of the element is missing? It is the mouthpiece. Your own mouthpiece has been damaged. So, you're going to replace it. So, you're going to diagnose to know. So, transparency is repair. If someone has broken trust, they should not say, you are invading my privacy. Like, seriously. No. There is a difference between privacy and secrecy. Yes. Which one do you think damages trust more? Secrecy, defensiveness, or inconsistency? Please, I want you to write in the chat or in the comments if you are watching the replay. Which one damages trust more? Secrecy, defensiveness, or inconsistency? Type one word in the chat or in the comments wherever you are watching me from. Privacy is healthy if only you understand what it is. Privacy is healthy. Secrecy hides what can harm the relationship. Yes. If trust has been broken, transparency may look like being honest about communication, being open about finances, being clear about friendships, being accountable for phone habits, sharing plans without being vague, answering questions without anger, not deleting messages to hide conversations, not creating emotional closeness with someone outside the relationship. So now, transparency should not become a prison, because I don't know, a lot of you might now use it to become a prison for someone. Let people be. The goal is not to police someone forever, like monitor them forever, like you are a CID. The goal is to rebuild safety until trust becomes stable again. That's the goal. That's the essence. But in rebuilding season, transparency is necessary. That time you are rebuilding is necessary for transparency. Don't hide anything. Don't try to hide anything in that process, in that moment. You are rebuilding something. The person who lied must understand that first, you are not being punished. Don't see it as someone is punishing you, or your spouse or your partner is punishing you. You are rebuilding safety. So just bear it in mind. And the hurt person must also understand that transparency is a bridge, not a permanent lifestyle of investigation. Because a lot of you who a lot of you do this to, and you use it to damage your marriage. You monitor your spouse phone at all time. There should be time for everything. Just like the Bible said, there's time to die, time to live, time to laugh, time to cry. There should be time for everything. A lot of you has used because maybe someone has betrayed your trust in the past, and you keep policing their life, and you use your own hand to destroy your own marriage, your own relationship, all because you do not know how to heal completely. So privacy is a bridge, not a permanent lifestyle of you investigating all the time. You tell the person, bring your phone, you monitor, you do this, you do that. Anyway, I don't know, but if you do that, it's not healthy for your relationship either. Even if the person has hurt you, has cheated on you, the deed has been done. One thing I always believe in, I don't know if you believe in this, but this is me, law of karma. Karma comes at the beautiful time. I don't try to, avenge my own thing. No, God fight my battle for me. But that doesn't mean I will not do what I'm supposed to do. I will do the necessary things that I know I should do. But avenging, trying to revenge, I don't do that. I don't revenge. No. Do you know the best revenge is to keep working hard, doing my best. That's the best revenge ever. Going higher, higher, higher. Yeah. You don't know how sweet it is until you try it. That's the only best way. Because if you become addicted to checking, searching, like watching people's phone and monitoring, you may still feel unsafe even when change is happening. Even when the person has changed, you will still feel unsafe. So it's not healthy for you. So transparency must be paired with healing. That's the goal. That's the thing. And with that being said, that takes me to the 5th step I have for you. And that is boundaries must be clear. You must set clear boundaries. Yes. You must set clear boundaries. Now, let's get to one of the most vital parts of tonight's message: boundaries after lies. This is so vital because we need it in everything, not just when people lie. We need boundaries in order to be safe. We need boundaries in order to be secure. We need boundaries for security purposes. We need boundaries. Somebody needs to hear this. A boundary is not a threat. A boundary is not punishment. A boundary is wisdom. If you believe love still needs boundary, please, I want you to type in the chat: love needs wisdom. Love needs wisdom. So, because you know why? A boundary is not punishment. A boundary is not punishment. A boundary is protection. A boundary is a clear statement of what is needed for safety and what will happen if that safety is violated. Just like For instance, if you lie again about where you are, I will need space, you see, and we will need counseling before continuing as normal. So you've given two statements there. If you continue private conversations with someone you were dishonest about, I will not ignore it. You see, you are clear. You're giving them conditions. If you hide financial decisions from me again, we will need separate financial safeguards until trust is rebuilt. Now, you gave them what they need. It's clear. It's clear. You gave them the consequences after their action. If they do that, the consequences that follows after it. You also say, if you become aggressive when I ask questions, I will end the conversation, and we can speak when we are calm. It's very clear. It's very clear. If you keep blaming me for your lie, I will not continue discussing reconciliation until you take responsibility. Yes. So when you tell them about these things, you are clear, you are making yourself very pure. Like nothing is hidden under the sun. So you made everything blue and black, white and black, or whatsoever for them to see. Boundaries are not about controlling another person. They are about controlling what you will participate in. If you know you do not have the strength to raise, let's say, 1 kilo of flour, why then go and raise it? You won't go there. Yes, you won't raise it because you know you do not have the strength. So that's exactly what it is. So you set boundaries that will save you from some hassle in your marital issues. So that is powerful because many of you say you have boundaries, but you do not have consequences. You tell somebody, I don't want this, but you don't tell them what you will do after that. But then, what if you tell them what to do after that and they violated it, and you go about doing it? A boundary without a consequences is just a request. So, and you know, a request, if they like, they do it. If they don't like, they don't do it. That line is so important. That particular is a request is so important, so vital. So I want you to comment in the comments or in the chat wherever you are watching me. Boundaries need consequences. So if you're setting boundaries, remember to put consequences in place so that the law, just like you violate the traffic, you were supposed to be 30 miles per hour and you are on 40 miles per hour. You've violated it. Good and fine. The consequences will come. You pay the bills, and that's it. Now, a request that is repeatedly ignored becomes emotional exhaustion. Yes, when you tell people what you do not like, what you do not want to participate in, and they keep violating it, it becomes emotional exhaustion. So you must be clear. Yes, what behavior is no longer acceptable? Tell them. What do you need to feel safe? Tell them. What happens if they lie continuously? Tell them. What support is required? Tell them what support you need. Communicate it to them. What timeline will you use to review progress? This is also crucial because you need to take a look at the behavior going on around. Sometimes they are manipulative, they are corny, so they make you not to understand what they are into, but you're gonna use your God-given wisdom. God gave you wisdom. So also communicate to them what will help. Maybe you want to rebuild and they want to rebuild, but maybe they don't know how. Communicate what will help to rebuild that trust. If you really want that trust to be built, unless the relationship, you're tired of the relationship, you no longer want it, and then you can, because I know a lot of you sometimes don't even have the time to do these things, and that's why you keep repeating one thing or the other. So communicate to them what will damage trust further if they continue. Communicate it as well. This is so important. Clear boundaries reduce confusion. So it doesn't make you feel confused in your relationship or makes you feel whatsoever. So that's it. They help both people, both partner, know what healing requires. When you communicate these things, it's not just for you to, you are saying something. No, it helps both of you know what you are requiring to heal. Yes. And with that being said, that takes me to the next step I have for you. I promise I'm going to give you 8 steps to rebuild. And on the 6th one, what we have here is the hurt. The hurt person must be allowed to ask questions. Now, a lot of you will hurt someone, but you will not allow them to ask you questions. Is that fair? If it was you, will you like it? When someone has been lied to, their mind often tries to fill in the gaps. That is why questions come up. Yes. Sometimes the questions come in the morning, sometimes at night, sometimes afternoon, after a trigger. Maybe something happened and it triggers them to ask questions. Sometimes after seeing something that reminds them of the lie. The person who lied may feel tired of having to answer. But here is the truth. Here is the truth. You had time with the secret. You had time. They are just now trying to understand the truth. So, if that sentence makes sense, I want you to type, be patient with healing. If what I just said now made sense to you, I want you to type in the chat the sentence. I want you to type in the chat, be patient while healing, or with healing. So, patience is necessary when you are healing. Patience is absolutely necessary. If you are the one who lied, do not say, we already talked about this. Don't say that. Instead, say, I understand why this is still painful. I want to help you feel safe. Let's talk. That kind of response or can bring healing. When you say things this way, it can bring healing to the person. But if every question becomes a fight, trust will not be rebuilt. I told you earlier. Now, to the person who was hurt, your questions are valid, but they must be asked in a way that leads to healing, not constant emotional destruction, because that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm seeing in some marriages. It's you ask this question and it's constantly destroying your emotions, your marriages. Before asking, I want you to pause and ask yourself. Maybe before you ask your spouse or your partner any question, I want you to pause and ask yourself, will this answer help me heal? Am I seeking clarity or am I pushing them? Ask yourself also, do I need truth, reassurance, or emotional comfort right now? You know, sometimes you do not need more details. That's the truth. Sometimes you need reassurance for that person to really, really reassure you that you are in safe hands, that it's okay, everything will be fine. That's all you need sometimes, most of the time. Sometimes you need prayer. Because it's prayer that can reveal the hidden secrets. Sometimes people are so corny, like I said. So people are so deceitful that you will, in your mind, you say, so this person can keep such a thing away from me, or can, that's where prayer comes in. This is where it's so sweet. Prayer reveals even the secret things people hide. When you pray, the Holy Spirit will speak to you. And if you follow his direction, he will reveal things that even if you try to get it from them, they will not speak it. Yes. So sometimes you need a calm conversation. Sometimes you need professional support. Sorry. Healing requires wisdom from both parties, both the partner and the spouse. So with that being said, that takes me to the next step we have in this life section, and that's the 7th step we need to take. Now, watch for changed patterns, not emotional performances. A lot of you watch for the cries, the tears, the words, those things. It doesn't show somebody has changed. It doesn't show there is any change. No, somebody can cry to the whole of today and still not change. Tomorrow they repeat that same thing they cried about. I don't know if you have seen that, but it happens. It's common. Yeah. So don't look for those emotional performances. No. Especially those who love drama. Those who love drama love to do that. They say words, they say things that are sweet, those things that you like to hear to deceive you. That's not what we need. We need seriousness, we need accountability, we need consistency, we need to work hard. Do the work, not the words. We don't need the words. This is very crucial if you really want to rebuild trust. Tears do not always mean transformation. So always bear it in mind. Someone can cry because they are sorry. Someone can also cry because they were caught. Yeah. Yes, their tears might not even be because it's just because they are caught. It's real. You and I need to face reality. Someone can make promises in an emotional moment, but the real test is what happens after the emotion fades. That's what I'm saying. So watch for patterns. Do they still hide things? Do they still get defensive? Do they still minimize the lie? Do they still blame you? Do they still avoid accountability? A lot of people still do that. I noticed that today's relationship and marriages, people no longer work on their marriage. They don't work on anything. Theirs is just to be there and be answering, I'm married. Like seriously. Is that how it functions? There is work in marriage. Marriage is not a bed of roses. You're going to work hard. You have lots to do in marriage. Marriage is not just to come and give birth to children and you frolic around. Marriage is not just having sex when you like, anytime, come over. That's not marriage. Marriage is doing the work, doing the necessary thing, putting your family in place. That's marriage. That's why a lot of people, you see a lot of our parents then, they you see life is unspeakable. It's not something that is proud to speak about. But that's not marriage. Do they still repeat the behavior they promise, they said they are not going to do? You watch out for those things. Or do they show humility? Do they tell the truth faster, even before you say it? Do they volunteer information, like give you information without you asking them? Information you needed to know without you saying, please, can you tell me? No. Do they respect boundaries? When you set boundaries, do they keep to it? Or do they violate the boundaries? Do they seek help when they need one? Do they become more emotionally present? It matters a lot. Do they protect the relationship? A lot of them don't protect the relationship. They protect themselves, not the relationship. They are not interested in the relationship. They're only interested in themselves. And everything they do in the relationship revolves around them. It's just them. I want you to know that change behavior is the language of rebuilt trust. So, comment in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. Patterns reveal truths. So, I want you also to know that words can comfort you for a night, yes. But patterns show you what is really changing. So, do not be moved only by words. Words can comfort you for a night, we know. Patterns show you the truth over time. So with that being said, that takes me to the final step I have for you today. And that is get support when the damage is deep. Yes. When the damage is deep, get support. Sometimes lies are not small. I do see a lot of you who think lies. Is it not this small lie? Lies are not small. You can't call it small. Some lies shake the whole relationship. So, lies about infidelity, lies about debt, when it comes to money, lies about addiction, lies about secret communication, the discussions they have behind with somebody or whoever. Lies about major life decisions, when they want to make a certain decision that you need to be involved. They lie about it. They will not let you know. Lies repeated over the years. When the damage is serious, you need support. That support can be marriage counseling. It can be pastoral counseling as well. It can be, when I say marriage counseling, it can be marriage counseling, it can be pastoral. You can go to your pastor to help you if you trust so much. It can be a trusted mentor couple, maybe those that are a couple and you can trust them and they can mentor you. You can also go seek help through therapy, you can seek help through financial counseling if it is a money issue. Because most of the times this lies based on money issue when money is involved. Accountability support as well. If you think they are not accountable, they cannot give account of what they do, how everything concerning them. A structured healing plan is necessary. So do not be ashamed to get help. Yes. Some couples keep struggling. You know why? You know why they keep struggling? Because they are trying to heal a deep wound with shallow conversations. When I say shallow conversations, with conversations that are not deep, that are not structured. Sometimes love is present, but tools are missing. The tools for you to use in your relationship, for that relationship to work, are missing. So you may need someone to help you communicate without attacking, listen without defending, and rebuild without repeating the same cycle. So getting help is not a weakness. No. Getting help is not a weakness. It is wisdom. It is wisdom. So before we continue, I want to quickly recommend a powerful marriage resource that I truly believe can help couples build a healthier, stronger relationship. Now, it's called the 7 principles for making marriage work. I recommend this book. Why? Because it offers you practical tools for improving communication, rebuilding emotional connection, handling conflict more effectively, and strengthening friendship in marriage. Sometimes couples love each other, but they don't have the right tools to understand each other, resolve conflict, or rebuild trust. And this book offers very clear practical steps you need. If you are serious about improving your marriage or relationship, learning to communicate better, and creating a relationship that feels safer, healthier, and more connected, I highly recommend checking out this book. Just so you know, the link I'm sharing is in the description below. It's an affiliate link, which means I may earn a small commission. I earn a small commission if you chose to purchase through it at no extra cost to you. Thank you for your support throughout this season. I'm super grateful. Thank you for supporting this channel and helping me continue to create content that strengthens marriages and relationships. You can find the link in the description below or in the pinned comment. So now, let's talk honestly. Which one damages trust the most? I want you to comment the numbers. The first one is they keep lying. The second one is they blame you for being hurt. The third one is they demand instant trust. And the fourth one is they say sorry but not change. I want you to the fifth one, So I want you to comment by numbers which one. So with that being said, let's move into the next thing we have, the next part of this live section. So now I have given you the 8 practical. Now let's come to the biblical wisdom section here. Now, because this is Build a Marriage with Maryannnnaji, we must bring this back to the biblical wisdom, because whatsoever I do it. Whatsoever I do, I finalize everything with the word of God. Everything I do, I look into the word of God for it. Now, let's look at the book of Proverbs 12:22, which says that lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. You see, God cares about truth, and he's the author of marriage. He's the one who introduced marriage. He's the one who introduced marriage. So if he is interested, he cares about truth, then you yourself should care about it, because he created you in his own image. Now let's look at the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 25, which tells us to put away falsehood and speak truth with one another. Why? Because relationships cannot be healthy where deception is normal. So if you are living in lies, it means your relationship is not healthy. You don't have a healthy relationship. That's just according to the word of God. But the Bible also teaches us forgiveness, restoration, humility, repentance, and wisdom. So, yes, you forgive, but forgive with wisdom. Yes, believe in restoration, but restoration requires repentance. Yes, pray for the relationship, but also pay attention to fruits. And when I say fruits, when I say the fruits, I mean their attitude, their behaviors, and that is their fruits. Yes, just like Jesus said, you will know them by their fruits. Not by their words only, not by their tears only, not by their promises only. You know, they promise you heaven and earth. The next day they commit the same thing they said they never wanted to do. Not by their whatsoever promise they made. It is by their fruits. What fruit are they producing? Can you sow a seed of mango? Can you plant mango and at the end the seed comes out to be orange? No, it's mango. So whatsoever you see in the life of your spouse or in the partner, that's what it is. Don't try to lie to yourself. So the fruit is more important, and fruit takes time to grow. Yes. So do not rush the process. I want you to let the fruit speak. Let the fruit speak. Let it be the fruit that is telling you what to do, not their words, not their promises. So if you believe restoration requires repentance, not just words, please, I want you to type in the chat wisdom. I want you to type in the chat or in the comments, wherever. If you are watching the replay, type in the comments wisdom. With that being said, that takes me to the next part of this live stream, and that is the sixth part. That's the sixth part. So, and here we have signs. Here we have signs. Trust is being rebuilt. So in case if you do not know, maybe let's say when a trust is being rebuilt, good, stay tuned, don't leave, because I'm going to share with you signs. You're going to know that you are rebuilding, the trust is being rebuilt in your relationship or in your marriage. So now let's talk about signs that trust is actually being rebuilt. You will notice there is more honesty, even when the truth is uncomfortable for them. There is less defensiveness. There is more emotional patience. There is clearer communication. There is accountability without being forced. There is respect for boundaries. There is consistency over time. There is willingness to get help. There is genuine remorse, not manipulation. Yes, there is peace slowly returning. Trust usually doesn't come back all at once. That's one thing I want you to know. It comes back in small moments, one honest conversation, one promise, one respectful response, one boundary honored, one consistency, one consistent week, one transparent decision, one moment where you realize, I did not feel the need to panic today. That is rebuilding small bricks. Like, that is rebuilding. That time you bring small bricks one after the other. That is exactly what it is. Consistency, consistent actions over time. If this is helping you, I want you to comment in the live chat or in the comments, small bricks. I want you to comment small bricks. Also, because this is crucial, because trust comes back through one honest conversation, one kept promise. That promise you made, you kept it. They trust you for it because you kept your word. That's one respectful response. That response that doesn't feel harsh, that doesn't feel defensiveness, that doesn't feel, hot. And one consistent action at a time. That is it. And now let's move on to the next part, and that is signs trust is not being rebuilt. Now, you have to know when you have these signs. If you pay attention to these ones and you have this, then know that in your relationship you are still lacking. You are not rebuilding trust. So do your best to avoid this happening in your relationship. Now, let's also be honest. Trust is not being rebuilt if they keep lying, if they hide behind anger. When I say lied behind anger, is maybe they did something and you got angry. Instead of them accepting what they did and feeling remorse, they accuse you because you are angry. They use your anger against you. They are hiding behind your anger. And it's not a good sign at all. So it shows there is no trust rebuilding. They call you insecure for needing clarity. That time you want them to clarify something for you, for something to happen, and the next thing is they are blaming you for all that. They refuse accountability. They don't want to take responsibility of anything. They just want to, have whatsoever they want to have and not take responsibility. They demand instant trust. They repeat the same behavior. They make you feel guilty for being hurt. You are the one that is hurt, but instead of them feeling guilty for hurting you, they make you feel guilty for it. It's not a good one. So trust is not being rebuilt when you see these things in your relationship. They say sorry, but do not change. They use spirituality to silence your pain. That time sometimes they will tell you one thing, marriage is this, about word of God. They use it to cover it up instead of holding on to what they're supposed to. They say just pray about it, but refuse to act differently. So you just have to know trust is not being rebuilt when you are having this kind of thing. One thing I would like to let you know is that prayer is powerful, But prayer is not an excuse for irresponsibility. A lot of Christians use prayer to give excuse for not being accountable, for not being responsible. To me, it's irresponsibility in the sight of God, because in reality, your relationship is in your hands. Your relationship is there for you to take care of. God gave it to you. You take care of it, protect it, guide it, nurture it. But a lot of you are irresponsible to take care of these things, and it's not a good one. God is not happy on that. God is not happy with that at all. So you have to take responsibility, do the needful, do what you can do. Help your spouse, help your partner in any way you can. Do not leave the responsibility just for one person. No. Do not let anyone use forgiveness as a way to avoid consequences as well. If people offend you, forgive them, but give them the consequences that's required. It's necessary. They use, you have not forgiven me, you have not. No, you have to take, there is consequences to everything. Even God himself, who told us, he said to you, I give you life and death. Choose one. But I advise you to choose life. He gave us the power of will, choice. So you have the power to make choices. When you make the wrong choice, you have the power to take the responsibility as well. It's your responsibility, nobody's responsibility. So you just have to pay attention to these things. Godly restoration includes truth. So if you want to restore your marriage to the way it's supposed to be, there must be truth in it. Do not skip that part. If you agree that prayer is powerful, but it is not an excuse for irresponsibility, please, I want you to help me type in the chat or in the comments truth. If you're watching the replay, type in the comments truth. With that being said, that takes me to the next thing we have, and that is practical trust rebuilding plan. I made this for you, so you have to take time. I know this video is detailed, but I do not mind. Now, I want to give you a practical plan. If you are rebuilding trust after lies, this is crucial for you. Sit down together and discuss these 5 things I'm about to share with you now. The first one is, what exactly broke the trust? Both of you will sit down to discuss this. Be specific. A lot of you like to, bring too many things together to complicate the things. No, you have to be simple and be specific. Was it dishonesty? Was it secrecy? Was it hidden communication? Was it financial deception? Was it broken promises? Was it emotional betrayal? You cannot heal what you refuse to name. So you must give it a name. You must know what it is, so you can name it and talk about it correctly. Then the second plan is, and how to go about it is, what truth still needs to be shared. Now, if people tell you truth about something, you have to ask for the whole truth. Is there anything hidden that needs to come into the light? You know why? Because healing cannot happen while new information keeps appearing. That's why I said, if you heard me earlier on in the beginning, when I was talking about wound, when you did not fully repented, you keep bringing issues. You do one today, tomorrow you do. So the person you are hurting will keep having too many things to talk about, too many information coming at the same time. So in order for you to heal completely, you need to
tell the whole truth once and for all, so that everything will be tackled once and for all. Not every time new information will be appearing. And the third thing you need to do together is, what boundaries are needed now? This is so crucial. Write them down. Write the boundaries down. Boundaries around communication, finances, social media, friendships, time, phone use, counseling, conflicts, transparency. You can talk about these things, set boundaries about them. Then the fourth plan is, what actions will rebuild trust? Not vague promises. A lot of you, like I said, we have been saying this, keep promising. No, not vague promises. Promises we have heard in the past you've never kept. No. Specific actions need to be taken. Like, let me give you an instance. I will call if plans change. A lot of you make plans together, but when plans change, you don't call the other person to tell them, okay, this is what is happening now. I'm switching into the next plan, or into the next thing we are supposed to do, or I'm doing this now. Rather, they go on and later on they say, oh, all those oh. So you can also use this: I will not delete messages. So if there are secret conversations going on, if you set these things, you put these things in place. Also, I will attend counseling. If you need to attend counseling, maybe there are couples who run away from attending counseling. So in this way, they are also accepting they are going to do this. I will share financial decisions. I will answer questions calmly. If they are not answering questions, when you ask them questions, they answer with anger, angrily, and sometimes they don't even answer the question. They blame you, they accuse you, they say different things. This is it. I will be honest, even when it is uncomfortable. Yes. So they can, you can put on this plan. Now, the fifth plan I have for you here is, when will we review progress? This is so crucial, because you have to, if it is weekly, maybe you can choose, okay, weekly, let's review, or maybe every 2 weeks. Depends on how you want it. Maybe monthly we review. Excuse me. Maybe monthly you review, because you know why? Because rebuilding trust needs check-ins. So you need to ask what is improving when that time gets, what still hurts, what boundary is working, what needs to change, what do we need more of. This gives you the relationship structure, and structure helps for healing. When you have this thing in place, you will see your relationship will heal. And this is why I also recommend the 7 principles for making marriage work for couples who want more practical tools to build their relationship. Because sometimes the problem is not that couples do not love each other. No, far from it. Sometimes they simply do not know how to communicate, repair conflicts. When they have conflicts, the truth is, this is the most common thing. A lot of you do not know the how to, or how to rebuild emotional connection, or how to create a safer relationship pattern. this book offers couples practical tools to better understand each other, handle conflict with greater wisdom, and strengthen their friendship in marriage. The link is in the description or pinned comment. And just as a reminder, it is an affiliate link, which means I earn a small commission if you purchase through it at no cost to you. At no extra cost to you. Now, let me ask you, what do you need most in this season? I want you to comment in the comments and in the chat. If you are still watching me live, I want you to comment in the chat. Truth, peace, clarity, boundary, healing, accountability, or wisdom. Whichever one, please comment one word in the chat. And with that being said, that takes me to the ninth part of this live section. You know, I told you I have a lot to share with you in this particular live session. That's for the person who lied. Now, this particular part is for the person who lied to their spouse. Now, I want you to speak directly. Like, I want to speak directly to you. If truly you want to rebuild trust, stop trying to rush the person you hurt. I'm speaking to you watching me. If you have hurt your partner, stop trying to rush them into. Don't rush the person you hurt. Stop trying to rush them. Do not say to them, you should be over it by now. No, don't say that. Instead, what you need to say is, I understand that my actions caused this pain, and I am willing to be patient while we rebuild. Do not demand trust, please. Demonstrate trustworthy. Demonstrate trustworthiness. So if you believe trust should be demonstrated, not demanded, please, I want you to type in the chat or in the comment, demonstrate it, so I will know that you are here with me. Also, do not hide behind shame. Take responsibility. Do not make the hurt person carry the burden of your choices. This is so crucial. Help them heal by becoming safe. You yourself need to be safe so that they themselves will be safe. And I want you to remember this. The goal of all this is not just to stop lying. The goal is to become a person of truth. Yes, that's the goal. So with that being said, that takes me to the next part of this live section, and that's the 10th part. For the person, this is for the person who was lied to. Now, I want to speak to you directly. You that was hurt. Your pain is valid. I want you to know that it's 100% valid. Somebody needs to hear this today. And I want you to type in the chat or in the comment if you are watching the replay. My pain is valid. My pain is valid. Type it. You are not crazy for needing reassurance. No. You are not weak for wanting the relationship to heal. You are not bitter because you need boundaries. No. You are not wrong for taking time. No. But I also want to encourage you. Yes, I want to encourage you. Do not let someone else's lie turn you into someone you do not recognize. Yes, because I know a lot of you have turned yourself into something else because of what people has done in the past to you, or what your spouse or the relationships you have in the past has made you become. No, do not let them make you become that person who you do not recognize. Do not become consumed by checking, testing, accusing, and living in fear. No. Yes, protect yourself is good, is perfect, is a very good step. Yes. Set boundaries. Yes, I want to. Require accountability is crucial, but also take care of your heart. This is so crucial. Yes, the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. You see? So prayer, I want you to know that you do all these things, guide your heart, then you do your prayers. It's so crucial as well. Prayer is so important. You do your journaling, you get support, you rest when you need to. Also, talk to someone who is wise. Talk to someone who is wise. A lot of you don't talk to wise people. You just talk to people like you, and they give you wrong decisions, and you make wrong decision upon wrong decision upon wrong decisions, and these things are creating chaos in your life, in your relationships, in your marriage. You keep, instead of you things becoming better, things are becoming wise. Things are becoming worst. Ask God for discernment if you need one. You know why? Because the goal is not just to know whether they are changing. The goal is for you to heal too. Whether the relationship survives or not, your heart still matters to God. That's why He said to you, guard your heart. So with that being said, that takes me to the next part in this life section, and that's the common mistakes people make when rebuilding trust. I know a lot of you must have made these mistakes as well. Let me quickly give you some common mistakes you make when you rebuild trust. The first mistake is you rush the process. Rushing the process, you cannot rebuild deep trust in one conversation. That's one thing I want you to know about, because this is so crucial. This is so crucial. The second mistake is confusing forgiveness with full access. You can forgive and still move slowly without giving them full access. Yes, it's 100% correct. And the third mistake you make is ignoring the red flags because you want peace. A lot of you do say because you want peace, you don't do what you're supposed to do. No, peace is built on you cannot build. What are you saying? You cannot build peace while you are pretending. No. Is it pressure? So with that being said, I don't want to talk much on that. That takes me to the fourth mistake you make, using the lie as a weapon forever. And this is for those who has been lied to. If the person is genuinely changing, please, you must also be willing to move towards healing. Yes, that's the way forward. And the fifth mistake you make is having no boundaries. Without boundaries, the same cycle often repeats. So you must have boundaries in place, not just boundaries, but consequences when they violate it. And the final mistake you make is believing words without watching actions. Promises must become patterns. Which mistake do you think people make most often? Is it rushing? Is it ignoring the red flags? Is it having no boundaries? Or is it believing words without actions, please comment one word below in the comments or in the chats. One word below. And that takes us to the next part of this live section. Now, let me ask you this. And I want you to give me an honest answer in the chat or in the comments. I want you to give me an honest answer. What is harder for you after being lied to? Is it forgiving? Is it trusting again? Or is it feeling safe again? Now, these three things, choose one. Which one feels harder for you? Is it forgiving? Is it trusting again? Or is it feeling safe again? One word in the chat. For many of you, the hardest part is not forgiveness. The answer is feeling safe. And if that's you, I want you to type feeling safe again. The hardest part is not wondering, not checking, not replaying, not expecting another betrayal. And that is why this conversation matters. So with that being said, that takes me to the next life of this life section. And that is the boundary formula. Here is a simple boundary formula I will share with you. You can use this. Now, here is the formula. When you do dash, maybe anything, it affects me by dash. You will be the one to fill in these things. When you do so, it affects me by so. In order for trust to be rebuilt, I need so. If this continues, I will. So you fill in the gaps. Let's say, for instance, when you hide conversations from me, it makes me feel unsafe and disrespected. To rebuild trust, I need honesty and openness in communication. So you must be honest and you must be open. If this continues, I will need to step back. As simple as that. And we will need counseling before moving forward. So now, that formula I gave you now, you have to finish the sentence yourself in the chat or in the comments. For trust to be rebuilt, I need dash. You feel it. Maybe it's honesty. Maybe it's time. You may need honesty. You may need time. You may need counseling. It may be transparency. It may be consistency. It may be anything. But name it. I want you to name it in the chat, because clarity protects your peace. Yes, this is clear. Not screaming, not begging, not threatening, not, anything. Clear boundaries work best when they are calm, specific, and consistent. So that takes me to the next part I have for you in this live section, and that is the 14th part. What if they keep lying? What if they keep lying? Because I do get this question a lot. Now, what if they keep lying? This is where you must be honest with yourself. The truth is that most of the time, a lot of you are not even honest with yourself. You lie to yourself. A repeated lie is not just a mistake. Yes, it is a pattern. And patterns reveal character unless there is genuine repentance and change. So if someone keeps lying after knowing how deeply it hurts you, you must ask, are they truly rebuilding trust, or are they training me to tolerate dishonesty? A lot of you don't want to hear truth, and when that truth is being spoken, you get angry. So it means you are trying to tell the person they should not accept truth. That's literally what you are doing. Love should not require you to abandon wisdom. Love should be wisdom itself. So if lying continues, you may need stronger boundaries. Yes, that may include canceling separation. You can separate for clarity. Yes, just stay separately so you can clear your head. Financial protection, emotional distance. Stay away, distant emotion. Just stay clear emotionally. Involving trusted support. It can be couples you trust. It can be counselors. It can be therapy. It can be anything. What is important is trusted support. Reconsidering the relationship if there is no repentance. Yes. You can review it and see if you can continue with this. Yes. This is not about being harsh, because a lot of you will label it as being harsh. It's not about being harsh. It is about not allowing your heart to be repeatedly mishandled. If you believe boundaries protect peace, please, I want you to type peace in the chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. And that takes me to the next part of this live section, and that is, what if you want to trust but you feel afraid? What if you want to trust but you feel afraid? This is normal. Fear after betrayal is normal. Yes. Your heart is trying to protect you. So do not shame yourself for feeling afraid. Instead, ask, is my fear based on past pain or current behavior? Is this person actually changing? Are boundaries being respected? Do I have peace or constant anxiety? Am I seeing fruit or just hearing promises? Yes, trust does not mean you never feel afraid. No, trust means that over time, safety becomes stronger than fear. So if you are healing from fear, I want you to type safety over fear. I want you to type it in the chat or in the comment if you're watching the replay. Safety over fear. And that takes consistency, yes. So with that being said, let's take a moment. Before I pray for you, I want you to type in the chat or in the comments if you want God to help you heal without ignoring the red flags, because a lot of you do ignore the red flags. Yes, I want you to type, heal my heart with wisdom. You know why? Because God can give you a soft heart without making you ignore red flags. If you are comfortable placing your hand on your heart, and let me pray for you. Father, I pray for this person watching me who has been hurt. Yes, who has been hurt by lies, betrayal, secrecy, or broken trust. Lord, heal places that have been wounded. Give them wisdom, not confusion. Give them peace, not panic. give them discernment, not denial. Give them strength to forgive, but also the courage to set healthy boundaries. And Lord, where restoration is possible, let there be truth, humility, repentance, and lasting change. Where someone needs protection, give them clarity. Where someone needs support, guide them to the right help. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. With that being said, now let's recap. Rebuilding trust after lies requires full honesty, real accountability, consistent behavior, transparency, clear boundaries, patience with healing process, changed patterns, not just emotional apologies, support when the damage is serious, wisdom to know whether trust is actually being rebuilt. Now, I want you to remember this. Forgiveness can be given freely, but trust must be rebuilt faithfully. Yes, you heard me right. Trust must be rebuilt faithfully. If this message gave you that clarity you needed, please type "I am healing with wisdom" in the chat or in the comment if you are watching the replay. And another thing I want you to know is that a person who truly wants restoration will not be offended by the work required to rebuild what they broke. Yes. If this message helped you today, please like this live stream so more people can find this teaching. Share this with someone who is trying to rebuild trust in a relationship, in a marriage or dating situation. And subscribe if you are new here, because on this channel we talk about building healthy relationships, strong marriages, and emotional wisdom in relationships. Because anyway, before you leave, I want you to comment this sentence: trust is rebuilt with truth. So comment in the chat or in the comment, trust is rebuilt with truth. I want to know you stayed until the end. Yes, that's the essence. And if this message helped you, please remember, like this live stream on YouTube so YouTube can show this to someone who needs healing. Share it with someone requiring or someone rebuilding trust after lies, and subscribe for more biblical relationship wisdom on marriage, healing, boundaries, and emotional growth. And remember this: you can forgive with a soft heart. You can set boundaries with a strong mind. You can love people and still require truth. You can believe in restoration and still move with wisdom. Yes, this is Build a Marriage with Maryannnnaji. I'm thanking you today for letting me help you. Yes, thank you for letting me help you today and joining me for tonight. I'm super grateful. I can never take it for granted. Yes, and you know that. So thank you, and I'll be seeing you in the following video. Bye.